There is a repeated mention of one forest in the epics. In the Ramayana, Ram goes to a forest for exile, while Krishna is associated with Vrindavan. Why is the one so important in our texts? Hello and welcome to my channel. I am reading book Devlok with Devdutt Patnayak. It's a talk with Devdutt Patnayak. So let's continue. Today I am reading part 3, Forest and Field. It's a basic part of Indian philosophy. Until we understand what this is, we cannot fully comprehend Indian sampradaya and parampara. One refers to Prakriti or nature, where there is no human intervention and everything is in its natural form. There are no rules. The stronger creatures survive. Survival of the fittest, also called Matsya Nyay in Sanskrit. The bigger fish eats the smaller one, and that's not wrong or a sin. One is the most natural form of existence. Man comes and changes this pristine state of being. He establishes villages, farms, and controls the land. He decides which tree will live and which will die. He decides which seeds to plant, what is crop, and what is weed. He creates boundaries. He brings fire and marks a space for Havan, another for his village, and so on. Basically, he assumes control of the ecosystem. This division, with a one or aranya on one side and the village, town, fields on the other, separates Prakriti and Sanskriti. Prakriti does not have rules, only nature's rule or laws. In man's world, you have concepts of niti, niyam, rivas, nyay, and nyayadhish, and property. This separation of two worlds is the fundamental principle of Indian philosophy. When was this concept first introduced? It was first mentioned in the Samved 3500 years ago. The songs of the Samved are of two kinds, Aranya Geye Gan and Gram Geye Gan. The Gram will feature rules of family, Kul, Jati, Varn, and Rajya. That is, Manushya or human rules. In Prakriti, there are no rules. This is mentioned again and again in Samved. In the Purans, this has been elaborated further through stories and characters. In the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, Ram and the Pandavas are sent to Vanvas as a form of punishment. Why? In a Sanskriti, there are Yajman who perform yajna with Brahmins. Anyone who does not want to live in this Sanskriti goes into Vanvas. After completing his householder duties, he goes into the forest, into Vanprasth ashram, and becomes a sannyasi, tapasvi, sharman, or yogi. This is a voluntary movement. In Jainism, a Tirthakar who is born to royalty goes to the forest after completing his duties. He leaves everything behind, even his clothes, becomes a Digambar and goes into the forest. Buddha too goes to the forest to meditate on the cause of suffering. But in the Puranic story of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, going to the forest is a punishment. Staying in the city is a good thing. It has everything: rules, security, wealth, prosperity. When Ram is in Ayodhya, he is a prince. In the forest, he has no position, no status, no servants, belongings, no concepts of dharma, rules, justice. In the story where Lakshman draws a line before leaving Sita to go and find Ram, the Lakshman Rekha represents Maryada or boundary. Within it is the village, town, Ram's rules, where she is Ram's wife. The word Patni, wife, is only applicable in Sanskriti not Prakriti. There are no marriages or sanskar in a jungle. Once she crosses the boundary, she is no longer Ram's wife because there are no rules, no niti or nyay beyond the line. Ravan, who is a Vedgyani, knows this difference. So Ravan will say, I committed no crime. Sita crossed the line of her own volition, which means she gave up her wife status voluntarily. I just pick up a girl from the jungle where Matsya applies. He does this by deceit. This story can be connected with the Samvit and the separation between Gram and Van or Aranya. This contrast often appears in stories. So, this is it for today. I'll be back. Till then, keep listening beautiful stories and keep smiling.